Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva plans a bilateral meeting this week with Venezuelan counterpart Nicolas Maduro to discuss Venezuela's upcoming general election and its border dispute with Guyana. Brazil has been trying to broker dialogue between its two neighbors since Venezuela revived its claim to Guyana's oil-rich Essequibo area, having already hosted both parties for meetings. The Brazilian leader, two sources familiar with the matter said, wants to seek assurance from Maduro that Venezuela will not escalate rhetoric on Essequibo ahead of the presidential vote. Although no clear solution to the dispute is in sight, Venezuela has moderated its tone in recent months, returning to diplomacy after initially threatening to use force. The Brazilian president is scheduled to meet Venezuela's leader on the sidelines of CELAC summit in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, also after attending the CARICOM summit in Guyana, where he will meet Guyanese President Irfan Ali. We tell you now that Suriname is expected to be added to the list of CARICOM countries to be served by the Interregional Cargo Ferry Service, which is in development. A media release from the Office of the Prime Minister stated, maritime transportation, specifically an imminent launch of an interregional cargo ferry that will operate the Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and Guyana routes. It is expected that Suriname will be added to the ferry route. It added that while government committed to facilitating the incubation of the project, it is hoped that the private sector will play an integral role in the expansion of the ferry service. The Galleon's Passage has been identified as the vessel for the ferry service. We now bring you news from Trinidad. Alpheus Paul, owner of Cafe Al Fresco in Tobago, has been forced to close his business as a result of the February 7th fuel spill. Suffering approximately $20,000 in losses thus far, his business has had to close and workers sent home in light of the close proximity of his establishment to the impact of the disaster. Paul told reporters on Monday that he was initially told by the relevant authorities that cleanup operations opposite his business place would be concluded last Wednesday, but he has had to close. In another situation arising as a result of the spill, Lambau fishermen have been relocated to the Shaw Park Food Hub, but there are complaints that sales are slow compared to the previous beachfront location at Lambau. On Sunday, they said they were locked out of the Shaw Park Food Hub facility. Meanwhile, the Lambau Anglican Primary School and Scarborough Secondary Schools remain closed until further notice in light of air quality concerns following the spill. I am KERESE Gonsalves. Thank you for watching.